It's nice out here today. You know, when it gets breezy, it gets a little tough. So I've got my board. Doesn't matter which side. Pick a side, right? So I'm going to have this ready right down there. And what I usually do is have some paper towels. These prints are bigger. This is posters for our theater show coming up here. Yours are going to be smaller than those. But I'm going to tear off some paper towels for my first one. So essentially, I want to be close to this wall here, because then if the wind does kick up, at least I'm close to the wall, and I'm not gonna, you know, it's not gonna blow away. If it's windy or rainy, we can go underneath that too, in this little. But it's too much for us. I would normally go under there, but you guys would never be able to see this. So when you guys are doing it individually or together, the best place is to go under there, right? So when you're spraying this stuff, it's super toxic. Sorry. It's glue. It's liquid glue. So you don't want to be breathing this. So the goal here is to not spray a lot and to hold your breath when you're spraying it. Unless you like glue particles in your lungs, then, you know, go for it. That's, you know, it will not make you high, so don't go there. But it's super, super strong, right? So it's called Super 77. The super is, there's no joke about that. It's very strong. So what I'm going to do is a couple things to note when you're spraying this. As the can gets older, it gets a little more gunk on glue stuff on the surface of this thing. So you're going to want to just kind of pick that off with your finger. Make sure that's cleaned off so that it sprays out okay. And then I just like maybe do a test spray down there, somewhere out of the way. Just make sure the glue comes out, right? Don't spray it up here. Spray it down like in the, you know, spray it down there. Okay, yep, it's coming out, great. And then the other thing to note too, you'll see when I do this that I'm not holding the glue right down to the surface of, I'm not holding the glue right down to the surface here. I'm going to hold it about 10, 12 inches away. I'm going to try to spray evenly in two directions. If you spray it, if you get too close to the surface, it's going to bubble up. And you don't want bubbles on here because you'll see them through your paper probably, or it'll just make little ripples in the paper. So you want to have it kind of about this far away. You're going to go just kind of even in two directions. And that's it. You don't need a ton. It doesn't take much as long as it's covering the whole back. And it's hard to see it covering the whole back because it's white and the paper's white. Trust me though, if you go across one and then another way, you'll see I'll be doing it for less than 10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds. You'll have enough, right? Usually, usually guys do enough glue, that's for sure. A lot of people do overkill. You never spray on the board. So you always spray on the paper and then apply it to the board, and then put the thing on the board. Now, I'm gonna get there too. So when I'm holding the paper, I never wanna hold the surface of my print, right? Because, you know, I'm really greasy all the time. So and my hands probably are too, although they're pretty dry right now. But you don't wanna be touching the surface of your print with your fingers. So you always wanna handle it along the edges. I'm going to cut these edges off of this today. When we cut this, I'm going to cut off the white, and you will too. So you'll have a few edges on your paper, most likely. Sometimes you don't, though. If you don't, you want to make sure that you, try not to handle it with your fingers so much. So when you'll see when these are going to be a little tough because this came out of my big roll of my printer, and so it's going to be a little tough to get this flat on there. So I'm going to have to touch the surface of this a little bit, but I'm going to tear off another piece of paper. Yours will be flat, right? Here, Arby, let me see yours. Yours are going to be flat like this, so you won't have to worry. See this bend that I have in mine? You won't have that. So it'll be really easy for you to lay yours down as straight as possible on the board. Mine will be a little tough. This is a little tougher because it's bowed so much. I'm going to move this one over here, and my idea is I'm going to place this one down right here without making too much of a mess. Also, I'm going to have, for me, because mine is bowed, I'm going to have another paper towel just so I can kind of flatten it out with my hands. Again, I want to try to touch the surface of this as little as possible. All right, so now that I've got this one, and I don't want to spray too close to here, move that over. So shake the can, get it ready. Get ready to hold your breath, front rowers. I'm going to have this in my back pocket. So I'm going to spray this, and then I'm going to transfer it over. And I'll get it on there more solidly when I get upstairs. I just want to get it flat on here. Then when I get upstairs, I'll use the paint roller, the dry paint roller, to get it really on there, okay? And we'll go back up in a minute. All right, so I'm going to hold my breath. I'm pretty good at it at this point. This one's tough. I have to go a little more than I would normally do because it's A, big, and B, bowed. So now when I put this on here, I'm trying not to, I'm going to get a little glue on my fingers. Okay. I got the one in my back pocket just to see how I'm trying not to touch it. And you want to get it as straight as you can. I'm not even pressing hard yet until I get it flat, and then I can kind of press harder and get it on there. We're going to cut this upstairs. That we don't need to do down here. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to do my other one. Now, I've got glue all over this paper right here. So I got to switch in between. Unfortunately, we got to waste a bunch of paper, and I have a trash can right around the corner. I got to switch out the paper because the glue will be on that paper, right? So I got to switch it out. That's why you want to take a bunch of these with you. If you want to take the roll down, you can. Just don't leave it down here. People left it down here last semester, and I had rolls of paper sitting out under there. People were like, what the hell is this paper doing in here? And our custodian will take it. I already stole it from the custodian. I don't want him to steal it back. I really did. He's like, where'd you get that paper? I was like, I stole it from you. Okay. He's like, oh, okay. All right. So again, yours won't be this hard. I have a hard one because it's bowed, right? Yours will be flat, so it'll be really easy. So again, I'm holding my breath. You can tell when you're getting glue in your lungs because you'll start. No, you won't. You won't do anything. Just don't take any deep breaths until, like, get done spraying, and then if you have to go over here and go, oh, okay. I mean, it wasn't, you know, I'm not holding my breath that long. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Notice how far I'm not down here. I'm up here, and I'm gonna, just because I gotta get these edges, I'm gonna kind of do this a little bit. Still holding my breath. Okay. Doesn't matter what direction I go in, as long as I can fit this. Okay. Maybe. Now I don't want to. Key point with mine. So I don't want to get it on there without. See how I'm doing that? So there's no. Okay, that looks nice. Good to go. All right, you're gonna bring that up on me. Oh, you're over there. Cameron, make sure you don't leave your paper out because it'll just start blowing everywhere. We have a big trash can. This is why this trash can is right here. And you can even move it over there. I suggest doing this spraying under there. All right, now let's go back upstairs. And we're gonna cut these.